I personally have only received intimate photos from official girlfriends. During the talking stages, it always felt awkward to me, and I would rather just be intimate in person. Do many guys still do this after high school? I am 28. I do not have any intimate photos of my exes anymore. They were deleted a while ago. It just felt weird, and it was probably the right thing to do. Do you delete intimate photos? Or do you keep a collection? Do you ever go back to them later on? Story 1. I had a bunch of videotapes of my girlfriend and I from before cameras were good enough on cell phones. I'd say maybe a year or two after we broke up. I burned all of them. I found one more or something, and I was talking to her on the phone and mentioned I found it after I thought I got rid of them all. She didn't care at all. Several months later, a friend tells me that my roommate had acquired said tape and showed some people. I don't know how many. People wanted to see it though, apparently. At some point, I destroyed the last tape too. Don't leave that stuff lying around or in your phone. People will find a way to see it eventually if they know it's there. Some people just have an insane level of curiosity to see what they weren't meant to see. Story 2. The one girlfriend that sent me nudes, I deleted them immediately before breaking up with her. It was actually part of my method to show her I was completely done with her and wanted nothing to remind me of her because subtlety had proven at that point to be completely lost on her. Story 3. I only have nude photos of one ex, but she passed away during our relationship. That was the end, obviously. I'm not sure she would care if I kept them, but it feels wrong to delete anything with her in them. Story 4. I'll admit that I have occasionally held on to them longer than I probably should have, but I always delete them before I start getting serious with a new woman. Story 5. Here's an honest answer instead of seeking approval. No, I didn't because I honestly didn't think to and wasn't looking at them. I realized I had inappropriate photos when going through old pictures with my now wife, and it created a small problem. I became aware that it was an issue immediately and then removed everything I could to fix the problem. Story 6. Am I the only guy who has zero nude photos of anyone I've ever dated? My current girlfriend won't even give me dressed pictures of her due to past trauma. The last vacation we went on has the lamest vacation photos in the known universe. They look like I went alone. Story 7. Deleting nudes feels similar to deleting my memory from my mind. I keep the good, throw out the bad, and don't share secrets. As long as I'm not sharing the stuff publicly, I don't see the issue. Story 8. I like Tart's position on this in Ted Lasso. He literally hands over his phone to women when they break up and lets them delete anything they want that has them in it. I personally don't have any intimate photos from past women, though I wish I could see them naked. I was married when the first smartphones came out. Story 9. I did keep them with my first girlfriend, but I felt bad about it and I knew it was wrong. I looked at them weeks after the breakup, and it just made me sad. I deleted them after about 2 months, and it was a relief. I always deleted the nudes of the other girlfriends I had on the day of the breakup. I feel a lot better about myself, having a stronger backbone now. Also, I don't really understand the appeal of collecting them. I mean, they aren't trading cards, and adult content is so easy to get online for free. Story 10. Don't have any. I'm older. We didn't have cell phones when I was young. But if I was young, I don't think I'd send nudes. I don't think it's smart. They can come back at you later in life. Story 11. When I was dating, I deleted them as soon as I received them and told them to never do that again, even in future relationships. I've been involved in digital forensics long enough to know what this does, and I am a fierce advocate for data hygiene. Story 12. I used to keep them. I thought, I'm not going to release them like some creep. So why shouldn't I enjoy them? I thought this was okay. I've changed my mind, and I have Ted Lasso to thank for it. There's an episode in the 3rd season where one of the main characters has her nudes leaked. They eventually figure out that it was one of the main characters, but not because he did it maliciously, but because his email was hacked. The show gave me a point of view I'd never seen, and I don't know why it impacted me so much, but it did. If you haven't already, you should watch it. Then have a final look at those happy memories, and then delete them. Delete them from your phone, from your emails, from your backups, from those old time machine backups that you forgot existed in that weird electronics drawer. Story 13. I don't keep anything unless she explicitly stated on her own, without me asking, that I could keep them, which happens because she likes the idea of me getting off to it later. If we're not speaking or on good terms anymore, I then delete. If she asks, I delete. It's to be enjoyed in the moment, then best kept as a memory. Someone trusted you with it, whether she knew the risks or not, you have to respect it. Story 14. Yes, I was married for 12 years and just started getting nude photos this year. However, as soon as I stop sleeping with someone, I delete all their pictures, nude or otherwise. Not only that, but I take a screen recording of myself doing it and send it to them, regardless of how amicable or toxic the breakup. That way, they get peace of mind, and I cannot be accused of anything inappropriate. Story 15. I would hope that people delete them. I always delete any photos I have with an ex. I feel like after you break off that connection, having those photos isn't open to you anymore. You all don't have that private experience again, so why have private memories, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. I'm high, but delete them. Story 16. I quite passionately believe that every man should delete explicit photos they were sent by girls they were seeing. There are multiple reasons to, and I would make it a public service announcement if I could. They were sent to you when you were involved with them. If they wouldn't send them to you now, then you shouldn't have them. I'd wager many women would prefer you not keep them, though it is an awkward thing to ask. How would they ever know you followed through? There may be exceptions, of course, but the permission to keep them should not be assumed. This is similar to continued consent. If you have a current or future partner, it is disrespectful to keep or look at such material from someone before them. This is different from random online content because you were personally romantically involved with them. There's also the issue of high school relationships where some men will keep those. That can be illegal and grows morally worse as you age. This one even extends beyond exes. I've seen posts before where a husband's high school sweetheart kept photos, and the wife wasn't sure how to feel about it. I don't care for which reason to delete a previous partner's nudes, but you should do it. Story 17. Yes. I don't even wait a day. Not only is it respectful, but it also helps to mitigate any lingering feelings of regret later. Like, you won't be in a dry spell and look at pictures and think it's a good idea to send that "hey" text. Story 18. I am a woman and I am so happy to know that most of you delete them all. It really bothers me because I know that my ex-husband has an entire folder on his computer from our 19 years of marriage because he regularly tells me that he visits it. It just makes me feel so gross. Story 19. I deleted them in front of her right after we broke up because I didn't want to have them, and I wanted her to know they were gone. She didn't want me to delete them, but why would I have the intimate photos of someone that I am no longer with? Story 20. Yes, it happened when I fell in love. I used to date but keep these photos as memories, but when I fell in love, one day I remembered I had these pictures and went ahead and deleted them all. I did not do it in previous relationships, maybe because I knew these relationships would not last. It was pretty awesome to see my change in mindset. Story 21. Darn right you better delete that stuff before you date me. My ex had old nudes of his exes, which is why he's my ex now. Keeping your ex's nudes when dating someone else is gross and extremely disrespectful. Story 22. I always delete them, no matter how the breakup went. And I let them know that I deleted them so they wouldn't worry about me still having them. Just because we didn't work out doesn't allow me to be any less respectful of their privacy or to my next partner. Story 23. I have many exes and an ex-wife. I have never kept the nude photos they sent me, unless it was by accident. I stumbled across some right before dating my now wife and promptly deleted them. Keeping material like that is kind of iffy, but my main reason was to protect their right to privacy and not hold on to the past in the creepiest way possible. Story 24. I have eliminated every picture. Even if they have cheated on me, I might have been a jerk afterward, but I would never stoop so low. I think once it's over, eliminate. Story 25. Yes. Delete these when the relationship is over, or if previously agreed at an earlier time, obviously. 1. The initial consent is outdated. It doesn't need to be revoked. It was granted during a relationship and that is over. The license to view has been cancelled. 2. How sad to look back. Move forward. Just because things can be kept doesn't mean they should be. Story 26. Yes. Delete them immediately when the relationship is over. They were sent in confidence under the confines of a relationship, so it's only right to delete them when the relationship is done. It's pretty easy to do the right thing. Don't be one of those individuals who start sharing the pictures after the breakup. Story 27. I only had nudes from 2 exes. One, I deleted all of them because it hurt too much, and I kept going back to look at them, and I was just upsetting myself. The other was okay with me keeping them. I know she's kept the ones I sent her, but I deleted them because it felt uncomfortable knowing she was dating someone else while I had those pictures of her. So, I guess my answer is I'll probably delete nudes, but not on principle. It just is the way I prefer to operate. Story 28. Hello. I delete any nude photos I receive after a week of having them, especially since I know I'll probably get more in the future of the relationship, and I can see her naked anytime I want. So, after a relationship, they would have been erased long before getting to the splitting part. Story 29. Nope. Kept them. I'm never going to put them out there, was never asked to delete them, so what's the harm? I like to look at them sometimes, and I wouldn't mind if she felt the same about my old pictures. No clue why this should be lacking respect. Story 30. I delete them once things are over. It's the right thing to do, but morality is just one side of the coin. The other side? She's gone. It's not healthy to keep such intimate memories. Maybe she's seeing somebody else or even intimate with someone by now. Imagine still looking at those pictures when she's with somebody else. That's a whole other level of pathetic. I don't want to be that guy. Story 31. Take a look at how many replies in here are something to the tune of, "You all be lying if you say you delete them," or "Look at all the virtue signaling going on in here." Is it any wonder that so many women see so many men as predatory? Also, delete them out of respect for yourself. Move on from the past, brother. Hanging on to your past isn't healthy at all. Story 32. I don't even save them onto my phone. I had a girl send me nudes on Facebook Messenger back in the day, and when I stopped seeing her, I deleted the entire chat. It erased all prior messages, all media, everything. I have 2 main reasons for not even saving them. 1. I am a teacher. It would be really embarrassing and even troublesome if someone somehow saw that I had nude pictures on my phone. My computer can be examined at any time for any reason by the government, so I'd rather not be questioned about it. They usually don't even bother, or have a government agent sneakily take pictures of someone else's nudes. I am a cynical person. I don't expect a single one of my relationships to last, and I've been right 100% of the time, so I don't even bother pressing 2 buttons to save them just in case the relationship might end and I'd have to bother deleting them. Story 33. To ladies reading this thread, there is no shame in sending nudes. However, let this thread be a reminder not to send nudes with your face in it and unique or personal tattoos, body modifications, or piercings that would give you away. Story 34. I will start this by saying no, I don't, unless 2 things: the sender asks me to or I get into a new relationship. Everyone is different, but the last few girlfriends I had didn't care whether I deleted them or not. I never asked them to delete my intimate photos. They were a gift given between both of us at the time. I don't share them with anyone, and only my eyes see them. I'll repeat because I know a lot of people like to misread. I keep them unless the sender tells me to delete them, or I end up in a new relationship. Story 35. Most of the pictures I ever received were from casual relationships, so there was no real endpoint to the relationship. I never felt motivated to get rid of them. Eventually, once I got into a legitimate relationship, I got rid of them, but they were from years prior, and some took a while to get rid of because I forgot they existed. I guess I just never took them that seriously. I didn't bother with the symbolic gesture of deleting them the minute I was no longer involved with someone. Almost all of the past relationships are just nice memories. It doesn't seem like any harm done. I hope my picture is out there on someone's phone still. Story 36. I am old. My wife, then girlfriend, freaked out because she found my little black book with old girlfriend's numbers. She gave me grief over that for days. I couldn't imagine if she stumbled across an old girlfriend's nudes. That would have been the end of the relationship. Do yourself a favor and delete them. Story 37. Yes. No keepers. Besides the fact that it is disrespectful to them to keep them, I do not want my internal monologue to have the knowledge that I am dishonest enough to keep them, because then I am. Story 38. Eventually, I honestly don't even really think about the nude photos after a breakup. I don't use them for personal gratification, but I'm not actively thinking about her photos during or shortly after a breakup. When I eventually do, I delete them, or if I stumble across one, I delete them, but it's pretty much never been something I was actively seeking to do. More of an, oh, I should probably delete those situation. Story 39. Best case scenario, you have some pictures of breasts, a resource abundant and cheap online. Worst case, your new lady finds them and then you are single again. Delete the nudes. Story 40. I delete them once I get into a new relationship. Not only is holding onto them disrespectful to whoever you are with, it also gives the impression you are still interested in them. If you are keeping a kind of sexual trophy like Dexter with his blood slides of murder victims, I think you should probably pause and rethink that too. Pictures of naked women are everywhere. You just don't need to hang on to these things, and you don't need to remember what your ex looks like naked. My sister has a collection of explicit photos, and it's just weird. How would you feel if your wife kept a bunch of explicit photos on her phone from ex-lovers? I think maybe we are drowning in explicit content so much that we don't stop to really think about these things. My suggestion is to just put some thought into it and then do what you believe is logically the correct and moral thing to do. I'm intentionally not telling you to do what you feel is right, because if you want that advice, you should be on the Ask Feminists subreddit.